Hey guys, Mosa here, and today I'm bringing you my Week 17 Sunday Night Football predictions between the Washington Commanders and the Atlanta Falcons. Now, without further ado, let's get started. Now, let's kick it off with the injury report of the Washington Commanders, starting with wide receiver Dyami Brown with a hamstring injury, cornerback Marshawn Lattimore with a hamstring injury, linebacker Jordan McGee with a hamstring injury, safety Tyler Owens with an ankle injury, offensive lineman Andrew Wiley with a groin injury, all out for this game. Then moving on to defensive tackle Jonathan Allen with a pectoral injury, he is questionable for the game. Then moving on to Zach Ertz at tight end, he has a shoulder injury. Defensive end Clelin Ferrell with a knee injury, linebacker Dante Fowler Jr. with a groin injury, and wide receiver Terry McLaurin with an ankle injury. Now when it comes down to it, I think that the defense will struggle a bit more. They lost Lattimore and they lost McGee. Those are two big losses on the defense. I know they also lost Brown and also lost Wiley for the game. And they're potentially going to lose Jonathan Allen. I think he's going to play, but still, he is a potential out for this game. In the end, I think that it really doesn't matter as much. Like, the win matters, but the game itself does not matter for the division. Obviously, I will get to that in my conclusion. But still, I think that the defense will definitely suffer against the Atlanta offense due to injuries. Now, moving on to the offense of the Washington Commanders, we got quarterback Jaden Daniels, running back Brian Robinson Jr., wide receivers Terry McLaurin, Luke McCaffrey, and Olamide Zaccheaus. I don't know if that's how you say it, but he's coming in for Brown. Then we get tight end Zach Ertz, left tackle Brandon Coleman, left guard Nick Algeretti, Tyler DeBiase, I don't know if that's how you say it, but he's the center. Sam Cosmi as the right guard, and right tackle Trent Scott. Now, when it comes down to this offense, they're going to do pretty good. It's going to struggle a little bit on the right side due to Andrew Wiley being out. But still, I still think that the Washington Commanders have a decent offense, especially with Terry McLaurin and Luke McCaffrey at wide receivers. Good tight end in Zach Ertz, and an amazing running back in Brian Robinson. But the big star, rookie quarterback Jaden Daniels, and potential rookie of the year candidate. Honestly, I think he's been excellent this year for his rookie year. Now, this is honestly his rookie year, so he might go on a downturn next year. But still, I think he's going to put up some good points against the Atlanta Falcons. A game both teams need to win. The Falcons in order to potentially have a playoff spot as a division champion, while the Commanders are simply looking for a playoff spot, period. Now, moving on to the defense, we got defensive ends Clelin Ferrell and Dorrance Armstrong. Defensive tackles Daron Payne and Jonathan Allen. Weak side linebacker Frankie Louvu. Inside linebacker Bobby Wagner. Strong side linebacker Dante Fowler Jr. Cornerback, we got Benjamin St. Jude. Cornerback, Michael Davis. Nickelback, Mike Still, I think that's how you say it. And safeties are Quan Martin at free safety and strong safety Jeremy Chin. Now, when it comes down to the defense, honestly, they're going to have a little bit of a pressure on that. They've lost some defenders like McGee and Lattimore. And like I said, you got questionable players like Jonathan Allen, the only questionable player on that team. So that might be a little bit of a hit on the defensive line, but I still think that the Commanders could pressure rookie quarterback Michael Penix in a decent way, because honestly, it's going to be a lot harder now without both McGee and Lattimore, but still, I think they can do it on the defensive line. If Allen's in there, they're definitely going to stop him. Good linebacking core and an okay secondary. Now, moving on to the injury report of the Atlanta Falcons, we got cornerback Kevin King with a concussion and cornerback Antonio Hamilton with a quad injury, both out for the game. Then moving on to wide receiver Casey Washington with a concussion, tight end Ross Dooley with an ankle injury, linebacker Lorenzo Carter with a groin injury, wide receiver Drake London with a knee injury, wide receiver Cardero Hodge with a rib injury, defensive lineman Zach Harrison with an Achilles injury. Now, when it comes down to it, obviously losing King and Hamilton, that's going to be two tough losses. I think King would have been the nickelback if that were the case. Maybe not. In the end, losing 2 corners is going to hurt your secondary, mostly due to not having rotational corners. Like, they were backups, except for Hamilton. He might have been a starter, but for right now, I'm not that sure. I do know AJ Terrell is the starter, and they also got D. Ford and Mike Hughes, but having these two not in the game actually hinders the Falcons secondary because the secondary players, such as the corners, are going to get tired, and then they're not going to have guys to replace them because they're all injured. And honestly, the offense is really, really good. It's looking pretty good, while the defense is going to struggle. Now, moving on to the offense of the Atlanta Falcons, we got Michael Penix Jr. at quarterback, running back Bijan Robinson, the wide receivers Drake London, Darnell Mooney, and Ray McCloud. Tight end Kyle Pitts, left tackle Jake Matthews, left guard Matthew Bergeron, I don't know how you say that. Center Drew Dalman, right guard Chris Lindstrom, and right tackle Caleb McRae. Now, when it comes to this offensive line, not that much issue. Although you are going up against guys like Jonathan Allen, so I'd say prepare yourselves. But then you get the tight end who has not done much, Kyle Pitts, and the receiving core are Ray McCloud, Darnell Mooney, and Drake London, who have honestly been the top receiving targets for both Kirk Cousins and now Michael Penix Jr. And obviously you got the running back in the backfield, Bijan Robinson. Honestly, good start to the season, or at least to the starting part of the season for Michael Penix. Honestly, it's a very good season for the Falcons. They're in the playoff hunt. They're still looking for that but that spot as the division champions. Obviously, Tampa is still there, neck and neck with them. But I think that the Falcons, if they win against the Commanders, they got one step closer to making their playoff hopes a reality, and this offense will definitely help with that. Now, moving on to the defense of the Falcons, we got defensive ends Grady Jarrett and Zach Harrison, nose tackle David Onyemata, weak side linebacker Matthew Judon, inside linebackers Caden Ellis and Nate Ladman, strong side linebacker Arnold Ibikitike. I don't know if that's how, I don't know how to say that. I'm sorry, guys. AJ Terrell and Mike Hughes at corner, D. Alford at nickelback, Jesse Bates at free safety, and Justin Simmons at strong safety. Now, this defense has been pretty accurate on some occasions. Obviously, there are some games where they just let up too many points, and some where they just allow like a touchdown or so. But still, I still think the Falcons will have a tough time. They got a good defensive line with Grady Jarrett leading that pack. You got weak side linebacker, the Judon and Arnold on the other side. Potential blitzes there to the pass rush. Obviously, the inside linebacker is pretty decent in the flat and hook zones. Then you also get the corners, AJ Terrell as well in the flat zones, maybe go deep. And then obviously you get the safeties in Simmons and obviously Bates. They're pretty good deep in the back. But still, I'm still thinking that there's going to be an issue. Like, realistically, maybe a lot of points are given up by the Falcons defense. It'll all come down to the Falcons offense to stay neck and neck with the Washington Commanders, because I don't think this defense is going to be leaving them at 10 to 17 points. Now, in conclusion, I have this game ending 17-27 in favor of the Washington Commanders. I think the Commanders will indeed be winning this game and probably a spot in the playoffs. The thing is, they're not going to be winning the division. As we all know, the Eagles won, making them 13-3. They can no longer win the division, the Washington Commanders. The NFC East title goes to the Eagles, and that would mean that the Commanders will have to fight for that wild card spot, which I think they'll get. No doubt there, but still, it's going to be a tough matchup between them and the Falcons, so they really got to go explosively offensively, or else they might just get a 10-6 record at the moment, and let's see if they can get their 7th loss or their 11th win the next week. But for right now, I'm thinking they'll end the Week 17 with 11 wins, 5 losses. Now that was it for this video. Tell me what you guys think in the comments below. Tweet me any video ideas. Also tell me down in the comments below, who do you think will win? The Commanders or the Falcons? Tell me down in the comments below. Now, like this video if you liked it, subscribe, and hit the notification if you want more videos. And I'll see you guys next time.